Nobody is absolutely certain what this guy is going to do next, but everybody sure has an opinion. The most polarizing player in the NFL came from humble beginnings. Who knew a boy born on a farm in Firebaugh, California would be the most hotly debated quarterback in the world? This is the story of Josh Allen. Firebaugh, California is a farm town boasting a population of 5,000. Josh Allen was raised on a cotton farm, and when he wasn't working on family agriculture, he was helping his mother at the family restaurant. And when he wasn't doing that, Josh was playing sports. Basketball, baseball, football, you name it. Even swimming. Allen was known around Firebaugh as its best athlete, but nobody gets recruited out of Firebaugh, especially when that guy didn't even start until his junior year of high school. Most quarterbacks we see on Sunday dominated from freshman in high school all the way to draft day. Josh Allen wasn't even close to fully grown as a high schooler. His high school was the butt of every joke, and rival high school Mendota demolished them every season growing up, until Josh Allen showed up, and the town would never be the same. Allen threw 26 touchdowns for Firebaugh as a junior, and led a team expected to win just 2 games to a 7-3 record. More importantly, they got their first win over Mendota in over a decade. He followed that act with an even more dominant senior year, throwing 33 touchdowns to just 5 picks, and quarterbacking Firebaugh to the best record in school history. Despite blazing trails for his hometown, Allen didn't get any Division I attention. He so badly wanted to go to Fresno State, growing up a Bulldog fan, but they didn't believe in his prospects as a collegiate quarterback. This would be the first of what feels like a million times Josh Allen would be told no, that he couldn't do something. Allen didn't attend many college camps to show off his overpowered arm because he and all of his friends went straight to the next sport during football offseason. Allen wasn't on anybody's radar. And just when it looked like Allen's football career was over, ERNIE Rodriguez arrived. The offensive coordinator for the local JUCO, Reedley College, Coach Rodriguez believed in Josh Allen. He was the only one. Despite not wanting to go to a junior college or ride the bench at a JUCO, Allen didn't want to give up his gridiron dreams. He bet on himself and attended Reedley College. He grinded, surprisingly grew 2 more inches in the spring, and after riding the pine the first 3 games of the 2014 season, he got his chance. Now one of the largest and most powerful players on the field, Allen took full advantage. In his debut, he ran for 4 touchdowns and was entrenched as the new starter. Josh Allen blew up the JUCO league, throwing 25 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. With his newfound stature, Allen fired back up his D1 dreams. He sent an email to every single Division I head coach, coordinator, and QB coach. He only got offers from 2 schools, Eastern Michigan and Wyoming. Wyoming actually went to look at one of Allen's teammates at Reedley when they noticed him, but they didn't pursue him until their original QB target, Eric Dungy, committed somewhere else. When they offered, Allen visited. He came back from the visit to find his EMU offer was rescinded for visiting somewhere else, so there was no other choice but on to Wyoming. And even then, he was second, maybe third choice leftovers. As soon as he hit the University of Wyoming, more adversity came. Allen broke his collarbone in the limited snaps he did see in his sophomore season, ending his first year with Wyoming as a medical redshirt. Allen persevered and impressed the staff so much he became the day 1 starter for the following season. All of his abilities were on display. Incredibly strong with a bazooka for an arm and a gunslinger mentality to match it, Allen was as impressive a thrower as he was a runner. Allen dominated, responsible for 36 touchdowns in his first season as a Cowboy starter, 28 through the air, 7 on the ground, and he even caught one. Allen extended every play, which led to over 500 yards rushing as well. With that gunslinging style came costly turnovers at times, throwing 15 interceptions while only completing 56% of his passes. His grit and determination led the Cowboys to a Mountain Division title and a game against Boise State for a conference championship, where they fell to the Broncos. There was a buzz of this Northwestern John Elway-like legend growing across the national media, and Allen debated entering the draft following his breakout season. It would take a conversation with his dad Joel and pro QB CARSON WENTZ to convince him to return for 1 more year to help develop his game. That next year, it looked like a bad idea to return at first. He started slowly, pairing just 7 passing touchdowns to 6 costly interceptions. The biggest game opened the year, when Wyoming took on the Iowa Hawkeyes. With the world watching the best competition Allen would see, he played poorly, tossing 2 picks. The story was the same against Oregon and Hawaii in the following weeks, where the overmatched Cowboys struggled and Allen was held to under 100 yards and 50% completion percentage in both games. But in the last 4 games, Allen flipped a switch, totaling 10 touchdowns without throwing an interception. When he declared for the NFL draft, he became the most polarizing personality in the NFL before he ever took a snap. Many people thought he could be the number 1 pick, and others thought you couldn't touch him in the first 3 rounds. He drew comparisons to John Elway, Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell, and Cam Newton, all in the same sentence. In a draft with the biggest group of quarterback talent we've ever seen, Allen might have been the biggest question mark of them all. Opinions were all over the place. Football outsiders even called him a parody of an NFL prospect. A lot of critics believed he couldn't take his raw ability and turn it into a franchise QB. His 50% accuracy rate and forced throws couldn't work on the biggest stage. Going head-to-head with the other QBs in his draft class, Josh Allen was the 3rd one taken with the 7th overall pick. The Buffalo Bills traded up to get their guy and took a chance on the kid from Fireball. But Allen's story doesn't end there, and neither do the hurdles he had to overcome. If you thought Allen was going to be a bust out of college, his rookie year proved it to you. He threw more interceptions than passing touchdowns and completed a horrible 52% of his passes. And if you thought Allen was going to be great, his rookie year also proved that to you. We marveled at his athletic feats, hurdling Anthony Barr for first downs and chucking a 57-yard in-air bomb to Zay Jones in his debut. At times, he was erratic, inaccurate, and didn't take care of the ball in big moments. In others, he was letting loose one-of-one throws and trucking defenders. He finished his rookie season with 10 passing and 8 rushing touchdowns to 12 interceptions. 2019 saw the Bills make the leap around Josh Allen. While Josh was far from a polished product, his improvements were noticeable on the field and in the stat sheet. He threw for 20 touchdowns and added 9 more on the ground. He reduced his interceptions to just 9 and even completed 6% more of his attempts. But most importantly, with Josh at the reins, the Bills found the playoffs. In a game that showed the future of the sport, Deshaun Watson and Allen battled. The Texans came back from a 16-0 deficit and even fought off Josh Allen's late-game final drive heroics to win the instant classic in overtime, 22-19. But this was just a taste of what was to come. In 2020, the Josh Allen of old was replaced with a quarterback that could combine the supreme talents you can't teach with the nuance, mechanics, and decisiveness it takes years to learn. And so, the Josh Allen we know today was born. With newly acquired Stephon Diggs to toss it to and a great coaching staff around him, Allen opened up the 2020 season unhinged. Against the Jets, Allen threw his first career 300-yard game, adding 2 passing and a rushing touchdown. The next week against the Dolphins, Allen dominated late in the game. He hit tight window throws to Stephon Diggs, broke would-be sacks to paint the back of the end zone, and flicked a ball 46 yards for the game-clinching TD, all in the 4th quarter. Allen would need that late-game magic again as the Rams battled back from a 25-point deficit. He hit Cole Beasley for another game-winning TD and his 3rd straight 300-yard game. The big moments kept coming. Allen became the first QB to ever have multiple 400-yard, 3-touchdown games without a pick in a season. Allen led the Bills to their first home win against the Patriots since 2011 and came up big to beat the Seahawks. The firsts, broken records, and big moments came in bunches. Josh Allen's experience brought the Bills their first division title since 1995. He finished with 37 touchdown passes and 4,500 passing yards at a remarkable 69% completion percentage. That jump of 17% since his rookie year is the best improvement ever recorded. He finished second behind Aaron Rodgers for MVP, and he brought playoff victories back to the storied town of Buffalo. Josh Allen made all those doubters look like clowns. All the adversity, coming from anonymity to JUCO, through the small college of Wyoming, to draft bust before he ever played as a Bill, to now being the franchise holder of nearly every Buffalo record. No one knows what Josh Allen is going to do next, but we know now never to doubt him.